All right, welcome back. It's the Bordas and Bordas hotline of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. That's where you can call us with your take every day on Pittsburgh sports. 412-575-2600. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier with you. We looked at their roster, Gene, and I do want to get your take on specific guys. I think Carl Hagelin is the end of a contract, which means unless they can come to a deal that's favorable for them or anything else that goes on before that, I think Carl Hagelin will move on. You agree?
Not necessarily. It depends on what else they do. You could always move Phil Kessel. I wouldn't, but you could probably get something for him if you're of a mind to do that.
And if you find a team that needs somebody who can, score goals that quickly, he's available potentially for the right price, and if someone would take over that contract.
Yeah. Now, if that happened, I don't think the Carl Hagelin shoe would fall, but you have to wait and see how this plays out.
No, they love Kessel, there's no doubt, but at the same time, if people call. I know the Steelers say they didn't want to trade Martavis Bryant, but when the price was right and people kept calling, they said, okay, let's do it. So you never know on these things. I look at a guy like Dominic Simone, for example, and as much as I think Mike Sullivan really likes him, but I would not have played him on that first line. I thought they made a mistake by taking Hornquist off the first line. I thought it was successful. It was Crosby, Gensel, and Hornquist. I would have put Kessel up with Malkin way ahead of what they did. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, they tried that for the, I guess, the fifth game, and, it worked, and Mike Sullivan got a lot of praise for it. I see what Mike Sullivan is saying about Dominic Simone. He shows flashes that he knows where to go and what to do, but at the end of the game, nothing really has happened.
No, so, he's a smart hockey player, but if you're on the first line, and that's tough for him to go from inactivity to the first line.
Sure.
But you got to do better than what he did from that point of view. Let's go to Jeff in Beaver Falls. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the Sports Call. How are you?
Hi, Bob. Glad to talk to you.
You too.
One of the things that I noticed this year was the play of Sherry. He was really fell off in his performance and production from years past.
Not just him, but a lot of guys did not score goals that you would count on. Rust in the series, nothing. 3 for the playoffs. Sherry, I don't think scored.
Yeah, you're right. That's another fellow that they have to look at as possibly moving because.
I wouldn't move him. I just think he, for whatever reason, they didn't get the secondary scoring they needed. Jeff, thanks for the call. But without that, you put an awful lot of pressure on the top line, and you just. No matter how much they score, they can't score enough.
People are down on him, but I like Connor Sherry. I think I like the way he forechecks. I like the way he goes to the puck. I like the decisions he makes. It was not going in for him this year, obviously, but I think he's a valuable player. I do.
I thought he was a menace in Game 5. He didn't show up on the score sheet, but he was on top of them. Every time the puck went deep, it does. As for as little as he is, he does get there, and he gives you a pound for pound as much as you can expect. David in Finlandville. Hey, David, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for taking my call. Yours and Gene's opinion on. I'm very disappointed in Brassard's play through the series, even before when they were playing against the Flyers. I thought he would do a little bit more. So I'll hang up and listen to you. Thanks.
All right, Gene, your take on Derek Brassard?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with that generally. I thought he was worth the price, and I thought he would really pay off in the playoffs. He's always a brilliant postseason performer, but he was not for the Penguins, and he was not very good prior to the playoffs. So I mean, all he really showed was why he was available.
But I do think Derek Brassard at age 30 is still a guy who can, given a full year with this team. They have him now. I don't think they're just going to get rid of him because of this. I think they're going to wait and see how he handles a full year here. And he's shown talent in the postseason before. It did not manifest itself in anything this year on the score sheet. But at the same time, I think he's here. And they're deep in center. And they've always wanted to be deep in center. This is the way they play it. Let's go to Al in Turtle Creek. Al, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, good, Bob. My question is, I hated that trade when they got rid of Reeves and that defenseman and picked up Brassard. I thought they had the long winning streak and everything, and then they got rid of them 2 guys. You know which defenseman I'm talking about?
Yeah, Ian Cole, who played well, and I thought Ian Cole was the best physical defenseman in both of the Stanley Cup years for them. I really did. But for whatever reason, and Gene, have you ever been able to figure it out why he fell out of favor with Mike Sullivan so frequently?
Yeah, he was in and out of the Sullivan doghouse a lot. Defensemen of that type are hard to, judge. I mean, they have to be judged really on stuff like you said in the playoffs. He's a great shot blocker and a really physical presence, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Sullivan saw there, but whatever it was, really obviously made him expendable.
Yeah, and he fit in well for Columbus.
Yeah, he did a good job for them.
Yeah, he was. They also traded Philip Gustafson, remember, the young promising goalie. So that was a hefty price potentially. We'll see in the future. Kevin in Pittsburgh. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Kevin.
Good. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, you're on the air.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin. You're not on the air anymore. Let's try Marty in Pittsburgh. Hey, Marty, how you?
Hi, Gene. I want to talk about Connor Sherry for a second. You said earlier that you think he's a productive player, but, I'm just not seeing it. He can't catch passes. Yeah, he's a fast player, but he's just not showing the potential that we saw from the first year of his full first year.
Gene?
Well, yeah, I don't think I said he's productive. I just said I like the way he plays. I mean, I think he has a really good speed, and I like the way he forechecks and goes to the puck. I think the puck will go in for him, and I wouldn't want to lose him.
Yeah, the one thing that we've seen over the course of the last 2.5, 3 years now is that other teams have seen how the Penguins play. You remember in 2016, Gene?
I probably don't, but go
yes,
ahead.
you do. When they won their first Stanley Cup with this group, they
Sharks,
were
right?
Yeah, but they were outstanding every single. I thought they doubled the other team almost nightly in shots. They just dominated time of possession in the attack zone. They were all over. Last year, not so much. It seemed to change a little bit. And this year, you see a lot of teams that play with the same sort of speed.
Yeah.
And teams like the New Jersey Devils are building that way, and they seem to have caught them. In terms of speed, but there are teams. Tampa mixes speed and physicality. They do a lot there. So I think people saw what they did and tried to duplicate
I think
it.
that's the natural evolution of the game. I think you're definitely right, especially in the case of the Devils.
Yeah,
who just gave the Penguins all kinds of trouble.
Well, we'll see how it goes there. But it's going to be an interesting offseason, and it starts tomorrow, really, with the last time they'll meet with the media, and then it's vacation time, and we'll see what they have up their sleeve. The draft, of course, coming up. And they'll make some moves, and they have some younger people who have to. Are you like me? You want to see Sprong play from the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like I've heard so much about the guy. I mean, I've not seen him play enough to know whether I want to see him play more, but I want to see him play because I've read so much about him. It's almost like Joe Musgrove for the Pirates. I've read so much about the guy. I'd really like to see him pitch sometime.
Yeah. I mean, they sent Nick Kingham down. By the way, they're playing again here tonight, and they trailed. There was that first inning and a half took how long tonight?
102 pitches for 9 outs. Right.
Yeah, Nova just didn't have it, although I think he was being squeezed a little bit by the umpire
a little
there.
bit. He threw 51 pitches in the
first inning. Yeah. Plus, there was a ball lost in the lights for Corey Dickerson. There were a lot of things that went against him.
Mistakes were made. Yeah.
Line one we go now. It's Sam in New Bethlehem. Sam, welcome to the Sports Call. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to give a comment and have you respond to it. I really thought that the Penguins were going to have a hard time this year just from the fact that they weren't able to re-sign Nick Bonino. I thought that guy was really great for them in the playoffs, and I thought that they would miss him, and I think they did.
Not just him, but Matt Cullen, Chris Kunitz, Trevor Daley. These are all character guys and depth guys. And, again, when you have a salary cap, this is the problem. Some guys are going to want a little bit more than you can be willing to pay, and they move on. I don't think I would have given Nick Bonino what he made.
No, I don't think so. And I think this is an excellent point by the caller. And if you think about it, Bob, I think you'll agree. This is kind of the situation the Flyers fell into. The Flyers have, a great top line. They have good top line talent, and then they have a bunch of good young players. What they don't have are role players in the middle, and that's what the Penguins really liked, in hindsight. Kuhnhackl doesn't hit the post and it goes in. We're not saying this, but that looks like something that is a legitimate point. So congratulations to our coach.
And one guy we didn't mention in that group of guys who've been here for a long time and chemistry guys is Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah,
not that
that's another thing.
They had, the decision had to be made. They made it. Fine. I'm never going to second guess that, given how young Murray is. But from a chemistry and how popular that guy was. To extract all of those kind of guys at the same year is difficult to overcome.
There's no more popular Penguin in that room, and that includes Sidney Crosby.
All right, we're going to take a break. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. Let us know what you think. Call us right here on the Sports Call.